What's up, guys? This is Chad Kroger coming in with the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. This is episode 48 something. And I'm here with my compadre, Jean Thomas. What up?
What up, dude? Boom clap, Stokers.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I've been having a good day.
Yeah.
Good weekend.
What'd you do today?
I'm almost embarrassed to say because it's so low stakes and it'll really make people think less of my hardships. But I woke up pretty early, did some going deep stuff. Mm-hmm. Then I went to therapy, unloaded some shit to Dr. Penn, same therapist as Pete Holmes.
Nice.
And then I went to the gym and I boxed with our dear friend Vortrees.
Bob.
And then I did a podcast prep, and now here I am.
Sweet.
Yeah, how was your day?
Solid. I woke up. I went surfing. Then I decided to become a metalhead. So I started just diving into that world and got real dark and dirty and in touch with the devil. And I feel like a edgier guy now. I'm stoked on that. And now I'm rocking some pretty heavy gear, and I'm really stoked on that. And then I did some podcast prep, edited some videos, and then fired off some emails.
Yeah, I was CC'd on some of those. You sent some really solid emails today.
Oh, thanks, dude. I like emailing.
You're really good at it.
It's one of my I enjoy tasks like that.
Yeah.
It makes me feel good when you fire it off. You're like, all right.
You got a good logistical mind.
Oh, thanks.
How would you say I am at emailing?
You're good at writing.
Oh, dude, thanks.
But I'd say a subpar, no pun intended, at checking.
There's just a deluge of messages that come in, and it's hard for me to sift through which ones matter.
Yeah, I've never understood. You're one of those dudes. Caroline's the same way. You look at their phone, it's 100 messages, 10,000 emails, 69 voicemails, and you're like, you don't want to check any of those? I don't get it.
Well, I guess I figure if there's an important one, they'll follow up.
Please call back.
Yeah,
please.
Once I get the please call back, I'm like, all right, something's going on here.
Jean Thomas,
please call me back. It's your mother. But when I do call her back, she goes, I have to tell you something, and it's very important, and I want you to know this. And I'm like, what's coming? She goes, I love you. And I'm like, all right, got it.
Yeah.
Very nice to hear, though.
Good call.
Dude, my weekend was solid. I saw a movie with you on Saturday, Anniversary Apocalypse, fun, low budge film.
It was so far from what I was expecting, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. It had so many different genres and stuff going on in it. It was tough for me to even place it, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And then I saw the movie Roma by Alfonso Cuarón that night.
Yeah.
Dude, masterpiece. One of the best movies I've ever seen. Intimate, but still had scope and really put you in a specific place and time, and it was really cool. And one of my buddies, though, was laughing during the entire movie, even during serious parts. Was it supposed
to be funny at all?
No. I mean, it was funny at points. Yeah, it had some humor in it. But he was laughing at not funny parts. And I got a little bit grandpa-ish about it. I was like, please stop laughing.
Did he explain? Was he like, this is why I'm laughing?
He said, I can't help it. And he's like, if it's funny, I'm going to laugh.
Well, at least this is A-bomb, am I correct?
Yeah.
At least he knows the sense of humor.
That's true.
And he's like, oh, I think that shit's funny.
Yeah.
He's not looking for approval from people.
Right.
Where people start laughing and say,
Yeah, it wasn't one of those. Yeah. I did that laugh. I was with a girl at a comedy show on Friday, and she was my date. Yeah. And if we didn't talk for a couple minutes, I'd laugh extra at a joke. I go, ha! Ha!
Or if you even go on a date to a comedy show and they make jokes and you're like,
yeah, you laugh like a different person.
I'm just a cheerful guy.
Yeah, I'm fun.
This guy's hilarious.
Harmless but exciting. That's what I'm always going for.
You're on the date, you're like, man, that guy was so funny. And then you see your dogs and you're like, how was it? You're like, he's hot trash.
Yeah. Change the story.
Yeah.
Dude, I went back to that same venue to get my credit card back because I had left it there.
Yeah.
And there was a big party going on, and I recognized a lot of the people at the party.
Yeah.
And they were friends of my ex.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I was like, okay, but whatever. I'm going to get my credit card. And as I was waiting to get my credit card, I saw her on the other side of the bar.
When was this?
On Sunday night, last night.
Oh, shit.
Walked by. Biggest smile I've ever seen on her face. Then she darted into the bathroom. And I ran out of the place without getting my credit card. It's still there.
She didn't say hi?
She didn't see me. I saw her,
Oh.
but she didn't see me.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very poetic or something.
I thought she like looked at you and like smiled and went to the bathroom.
No, she smiled like obliviously, like she was in her
Oh.
own world. Yeah.
That's juicy stuff.
Yeah, and then I looked and I went, and I ran out.
What were your feelings at that time?
I don't know what they were, but they were a lot.
Was it fear?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Also just like, more just overwhelmed. Like, oh man, she still has a hold on me. She'll always
Yeah.
have a hold on me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I wish her the best. You know, I was a little frustrated with how happy she looked, but for the most part, I wish her the best. And
You'd rather she's like crying and you're like,
no,
"That's
no,
good." No, I'm joking.
That's true.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, good. Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah, just checking to make sure I'm doing all right. Yeah. Coming out ahead. I want you to be happy, just not quite as happy. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was intense.
What did I do last night? Yeah, I hung out with you and the Farnster.
Oh yeah, that was really fun.
Yeah.
He was blowing my mind with YouTube videos.
Was he?
Yeah, he's a good YouTube curator.
Dude, yeah, he's on top of everything.
Yeah.
If there's like some obscure person, he's like, oh, I know what that is. That's da 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 da. And
Yeah.
you're like, God damn. And he's like, yeah, I've been monitoring all the videos. And you're like, what? He's a talented guy.
He's the Oracle.
He is the Oracle.
Yeah, he's super talented.
You know,
yeah.
it reminds me of the guy in X-Men who like types everyone into like the Matrix. When the
Wait, an X-Men?
Tank. Is it Tank?
Tank. Yeah.
And his brother Dozer.
Yeah.
Tank, and he's like, all right, let's start with Kung Fu. Or some
Yeah.
shit. Or Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know jujitsu. Or I know Kung Fu.
Oh, I think he likes it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Tank has an untimely demise.
Rest in peace.
Poor Tank.
You were a beast. You were a tank. We got some fun topics this week.
Yeah. What do we got?
First up, I thought this was really uplifting. School officials determined that high school football players caught running nude with an Oreo between their ass cheeks were not hazed.
Good.
They weren't forced to do this. These guys volunteered for it out of, a respect for legacy and in an attempt to build camaraderie. And I think that's really beautiful.
I love it.
And I guess they took it from Blue Mountain State, and in the show Blue Mountain State, if you lost the Oreo run, you had to eat the Oreo. But
Yeah.
I guess none of these kids ate the Oreos.
Well, I think it said it wasn't determined whether or not they ate them.
Yeah, I like to think that one kid, a leader, ate his Oreo.
Yeah, I mean,
just
if
to
you're-
set the tempo.
If you're gonna do an Oreo run, I think you got to go all in.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I'd eat it.
I know you would.
Thanks.
But they had to analyze the footage to determine whether there was hazing. So I'd really love to be a fly on that wall. Not so I could see the teenage peckers, but just so I could see these professionals analyzing footage to see what it was like when these kids were running with Oreos between their butts.
30 interviews, analyzing video footage. They really went in depth.
It's a hefty investigation.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the authorities cracking down on this? Do you think they're kind of anti, fun and games and bonding?
I do.
Yeah.
But I also understand that's part of their gig, so they have to do it. But I'm confident that the young kids will find another outlet for their camaraderie building.
Yeah. I'd like to meet them. I think it's a creative young group of gentlemen. Although they did take it from Blue Mountain State, but I think it's props to them for going there.
Yeah.
As opposed to just like your typical icebreakers or like zip zap zop.
Have you ever been hazed?
Yeah.
You like it though, right?
Yeah, it's like hanging out with my older brothers. It creates a kind of warmth inside me.
Yeah, you're able to interpret it as affection.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the best kind of affection I know.
I would always like haze myself and then get too much attention for it, and they'd be like, "Fuck this, I'm out." And like, no, everyone's like, "Dude, no one made you stick your head in the toilet. Like you did it to yourself." I was like, "Yeah, well, it wasn't what I thought it was gonna be."
Yeah. Dude, you didn't have to flash dong in front of the entire school.
Yeah, like no one forced you to wear a G-string to school. You decided to do that, and now you're mad that people are making a big deal of it. I'm like, well, got different.
Yeah, no. With my brother, as like my oldest brother, when I was a kid, I would be like, he'd come home from college and stuff. I'd be like, please, just kick my ass. Like, just kick my ass, dude. Like, let's get after it, And he'd like throw me in the pool, beat my ass, and not like fully beat my ass, just sort of like throw me
rough you
in the
up a little
pool.
bit.
Yeah,
more wrestling than punching.
Yeah, it is a kind of a primal thing, and it's one of my greatest childhood memories, you know. And then, you know, he got a job, and I'm like, can you kick my ass? He's like, I have a job now. And I'm like, fuck, you know.
Right.
So,
but what about your duty?
Yeah.
To beat this booty.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I still wrestle my younger brother, and he's a good sport about it. He lets me, he knows, well, you know what, and I've also gotten better at wrestling him, because I used to wrestle him and go too far.
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, ow, you really fucking hurt me.
Yeah.
Get off me, dumbass. And I'd be like, I'm a moron.
Yeah.
I wanted to show him that I was strong, and in that process, I ruined fun for both of us. But now I wrestle him the right amount where like we don't ever go to the ground. I'm like, oh, we could have gone to the ground, but we're going to stay upright.
Yeah.
And then there's like it builds the bond because he knows that he's safe with me and that I'm not going to push it too hard.
That's cool. My brother Mark, he's so strong that he kind of like, he'll like get on top of me or something, or like push me down, and there's so much strength. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And he's one of those guys that doesn't know how strong he is.
Dude, you know, I was always small.
Yeah.
And then at some point I got strong, and my dad and I got into a fist fight.
Yeah.
And because I was using his credit card for porn, and he wanted me to cancel it in front of him, and I told him I'd cancel it later. But I'd also just met his girlfriend that he left my mom for that weekend, so I was pretty pissed off. I didn't feel like doing something for him.
Yeah.
So I ended up roughing him up a bit. We got into a fight, and I chucked him. And then my brother pulled me off and slammed me backwards, and I went, huh? And I looked at my brother, and I started walking towards him, and he went, dude! And I went, oh, sorry. I snapped out of
You're
it.
sort of like a gorilla stand.
Yeah. I was like, oh? And I started walking towards him, and he just looked at me, and he went, dude! And I was like, okay.
What was your brother do? He was just watching the fight?
He was like, we were arguing, and I was like crying, and then once it got to the physical realm, he broke it up right away. Yeah, there was no like blows thrown or anything. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't land one?
No. He said I chipped his tooth.
Yeah.
And I said, you're lucky I didn't knock out all your teeth. And then my dad quickly said, the only reason you can do that is because I pay for your gym membership.
It's a good one.
It's a good burn.
Dude, my brother and I, this was kind of a painful memory for me because I really kind of fucked him up. I think I was in like first grade. He must have been in third grade. And it was around the holiday season. Everyone was around. You know, I have like 4 other siblings, older siblings. And so we were all kind of roughhousing. And to my brother, he was kind of giving me an attitude. So I went double fist, hammered down on his balls. And he was down and out for the count for like an hour.
Did you feel bad afterwards?
I think so. I can't remember. I think so. But he was like crying. So yeah, I must have felt bad. But I think I was so amped up with adrenaline because like my older brother Bill and my cousin Evan were there, and I was like trying to impress them, and I was like, but we all came to the agreement that it was a cheap shot.
Right.
So I couldn't be that proud of it.
Yeah, when the older kids kind of decide whether what you did was okay or not, that's kind of it.
It was, we called it the Intergalactic Crotch Wars.
Oh, that's a good name.
Yeah. So Mark, I'm sorry
from the cosmos on his nuts.
Yeah, Mark, I'm sorry for hitting your nuts. I know you're listening, and I love you. And I know your nuts are doing well now.
Hope your nuts are good, dude.
I remember one time you whipped me in the ass with a belt before school. It hurt, and then I got him in the ass. So we both just had big red marks across each other's asses.
Oh, that's nice.
It's not really a good story, but
it is. It is. You guys walking around with the same kind of
yeah,
mark on your butts?
It was like eye for eye, except welt for welt on ass.
Cheek for cheek.
Yeah, cheek for cheek.
Chad and I also this week we looked at all the best Oscar acceptance speeches. Did you have a personal fave?
I had to go with Ben and Matt.
That was your favorite?
Yeah, because the amp and it was so genuine, and they were just so pumped, and there was no it wasn't pretentious at all. They were just so excited, and it was just like 2 dudes who like came up together, and they were just so excited to like have reached that pinnacle status. And the excitement grew. At first they were scared, and then like the moment sank in. They were just like, yeah.
And the Oscar goes to
Jack
Ben
Lemmon's in
Affleck
every
and
Oscar
Matt
clip.
Damon.
Holy shit.
Damon and Ben Affleck are childhood friends. They appeared together in Chasing Amy and Good Will Hunting.
I have to say,
for which Damon received
on all the speeches, it seemed like in the 90s, people were very more loving of one another.
And it's really, really scary.
People were what?
Way more loving of one another.
Right.
It was sort of like they were like, I love you, and I love you, and I love you, and now everyone goes up and makes like a political statement.
Right. More serious now.
We're just really two young guys who were fortunate enough to be involved with a lot of great people whom it's coming upon us to, there's no way we're doing this in less than 20 seconds, upon whom it's incumbent of us to thank.
Look how stoked Matt is.
Damon looks like kind of lost.
Yeah.
Like he looks like, I don't know if his tux fits him right, and he looks like he kind of just woke up.
Harvey Weinstein, who believed in us and made this movie. Gus Van Sant for brilliant direction. Robin Williams, who delivered such great lines. Minnie Driver, whose performance was brilliant. Stellan Skarsgård, who was great.
Your brother.
My brother Casey, who's brilliant in the movie.
Hauser.
Cole Hauser, my mother, and Matt's mother, the most beautiful women here.
My dad right over there.
And
Jack said hi to you.
And
All right.
Who else?
John Gordon from Miramax.
John Gordon. Chris Moore, who produced the movie. And
Chris Moore.
Patrick Weitzel, the best agent in Hollywood.
Yeah,
and,
Patrick Weitzel.
And Cuba Gooding for showing us how to give our acceptance speech. And
all our friends and family. And everybody back in Boston watching us tonight.
And thank you so much, the city of Boston. And God, I know we're forgetting somebody.
Whoever we forgot, we love you and we
love
thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much.
Look at Matt. Yeah.
The pump from Matt afterwards. Yeah.
Whoever forgot, but thank you.
It is sweet.
Yeah. What was your favorite?
I think my favorite, and I think I've mentioned it on the pod before, is the Ving Rhames one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
From when he wins the Golden Globe. I'll
Yeah.
pull that one up real quick. Because what I like about this one is I love how strong Ving Rhames is, and then I love how much he's crying.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of this. So he wins for playing Don King. All right, I'm gonna pee real quick.
What up, guys? It's me, Chad, right now. Just solo rocking this mic. Guys, I just wanted to take a moment to recognize all the wood in this studio. I freaking love wood, and this is a wood. I feel like I'm in like a cabin right now. And yeah, guys, get more wood in your life because I think it's really uplifting. Yeah, so just shout out to wood. I'm not a wood expert per se, but I would have to go ahead and guess that this is mahogany. Yep. Brought my shades in here. You know, I don't really have much against people who wear shades at night. You know, if you want to wear shades at night, do it. I think it's a cool look, you know? I think it's bold. If you're going to be a douche while doing it, cool. But you just know that you're solidifying that rep that people who wear shades indoors are douches, you know? So stokers, if you want to wear shades indoors, maybe try doing it and be like the nicest guy in the room and see if you can change it around.
As we always do, Chad, before we get into the cues, got that green drink for you.
Yes. Are we going to do the cues first?
Yeah. Up first, we've got Fred. Puzio is a bitch, and JT should totally beat his ass once again because fuck Puzio. Love the pod, Christian and Freddie.
Is that the question?
Yep.
Thank you for confirming that Puzio is in fact a bitch.
You guys are so nice, dude. I appreciate the backup. Puzio, if you're out there listening, they said it, not me. But if you have a problem with them, you got a problem with me. All right, next cue. Aaliyah. What up, Chad and JT? I recently got prescribed some anti-anxiety, antidepressant drugs, and I keep thinking that if people find out, they will think different of me. How do I let people know that this is something I take, but that doesn't make me any different as a person? Thanks, guys, and fuck Puzio.
I'm sorry. I was focused on the green juice.
No worries, dude. Of course. So a stoker was prescribed anti-anxiety medication, and they're worried that if people find out, they'll think differently of them. So they want to know how to handle it going forward so that it doesn't define them.
Define them?
Yeah.
I don't think you have anything to worry about.
Yeah, I really don't. I think the stigmas we put on ourselves are often the harshest ones. I mean, the way that I handle it is I just tell people up top, and like my therapist and my brother say I lead too largely with it. Like I give it too big of a seat at the table. But that's always just been easiest for me because I really don't feel like I've been any different since I started taking them, except I sleep better now.
Yeah.
And I've been a little bit less crazy. So it's been and here's the thing. I think if you take medication to make yourself healthier, that's something you should be proud of. So don't have any shame about it. You know, you're on the cutting edge of taking care of yourself. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a very common thing. And I don't think if someone thinks poorly upon you for it or differently, then it's something on them.
Yeah.
It's probably something wrong with them. And I encourage you to listen to an episode of The School of Greatness with Charlemagne the God. He talks about his struggles with anxiety. And I'm like, damn, Charlemagne the God has struggles with anxiety? Then I'm going to be okay.
Yeah. And good for you, Stoker, for, taking the bull by the horns and dealing with what you got. All right, next up, Fred. Yo, what up, fellas? A few nights a week, my roommate will get rowdy late at night, which prevents me from falling asleep. I have a busy schedule and need my daily uninterrupted slumber. I have asked him to keep it quiet while during weeknights so we could get extra rowdy during weekends. How should I get my roommate to keep it down during the week so we could rage hard on the weekend? Thanks for your help. Huge fan of the pod, Freddie.
He's making a lot of noise.
Yeah, the dude's just partying during the weekdays and not being like considerate of his roommates who are trying to just get a good night's rest.
Maybe designate like a loud zone.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Be like, because you can't really stop him from doing what he wants to do, but you could be like, here's the boundary,
Yeah, there's parameters to it.
When you want to party, you go to like the front lawn.
Yeah, and you wear headphones.
Yeah.
And then, like, how do you enforce that if he doesn't listen? Like, if he's a real asshole and he's not going to listen, how do you make sure he listens?
I think that's when you resort to violence. I'm just kidding.
I think violence could work. I think you just got to tell him, hey, dude, when you party like that, you look like an idiot.
Oh, shame him?
A little bit, yeah.
Nice. I dig that.
Like, I know you're having a lot of fun, but if I can be honest with you, the rest of us kind of think you're an idiot right now.
Yeah.
And then he'll act like that doesn't hurt him. But if you tell him that, a couple weeks in a row, everything gets to everybody at some point.
And if you're sincere about it.
Yeah.
If you're not angry, you're calm, cool, collected. You just come out in your PJs and you're like, you're a grade A asshole. And everyone here thinks it. He's not going to want to party after that.
No. Strider used to do that to me brilliantly. Like one time I was being a douche and I like locked Strider out of the car. And he went to unlock it, and like it was clicked, and I was like sitting there smiling at him, and he was just like, "Unlock the door, moron." And I was like,
that's a lot simpler. I was thinking you get like cones and you designate a space.
dude, I was like, can you get a soundproof like kind of like enclosure?
Or get like the Heineken Dome from Coachella and be like, look, we got the Heineken Dome for you. It's a headphone party. It's there for you.
I like where we're at, though, because we don't want him to stop partying. We just want him to do it in a way that's contained. And then it becomes kind of fun. It's like he brings people back. He's like, this is my domicile. It's where I party, dude. Yeah, my roommates built this for me. I just rage in here.
Have you been in the Heineken Dome?
No.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Oh, it's amazing.
What is it?
You just put on headphones, so like everyone's listening to the same track, so it's silent in there.
Oh, at Coachella?
Yeah.
Yes, I have done that.
Yeah,
I have done that. My bad.
You're just looking at your boys. You're just like.
But it's all just in your head.
It's all in your.
But you trust that everybody hears the same thing.
Yeah, it's all in your dome.
Bro, relationship advice. Grant. Yo, what's good? Chad and JT. Love you guys. Have been a fan since day one. I go to Penn State, so shout out to Happy Valley. So I'm dating this girl that I've only been dating for a few months. She's great and all of my friends and family love her. She is so nice and selfless and pretty and smart and all of that good stuff. But for some reason, I am not in love with her. I do love her and the person that she is, but I'm not in love with her. I can't see myself marrying her, and I know that is what she wants because she has told me about it. I am only 20 years old, and I'm not saying I'm not open to the idea, but she's not the right one. She is great and deserves to be with someone who loves her like she loves me, and I don't want to waste my time and her time with a relationship that I can't see working out in the end. So how do I go about ending things with her in the best possible way? I'd like to maintain a friendship with her because she's become one of my best friends, but I feel like this will break her and make her hate me. Any advice would be great, you guys. Seems to have a pretty clear understanding of what's going on.
Yeah, at first I thought he was gonna ask, what should I do? I'm like, I think you just laid it out.
Right.
But in terms of how to go about doing it, that's tough. He knows why though. But is that too hurtful? The honesty?
I mean, I don't think he needs to tell her like full stop that, you know, he just doesn't reciprocate as deeply as she does. But I think he can tell her that it's just not what he wants.
Yeah.
And, you know, the straightforward approach is always best. Let her know you care about her. Let her know you want to be friends. I think the harder part is actually after you have that talk, letting them hate you for a little bit, because that's kind of normal. You know, you can't rush into being friends again with someone after you break up. So you kind of have to let them be angry at you because they liked you so much, so they're hurt. And it's hard to swallow, especially if you think of yourself as like a, you know, good dude. But
Yeah.
that's just the way it goes.
Yeah. If you're trying to preserve the friendship too, drawing it out too is probably the worst thing you can do. So
Yeah.
I think you're making a smart move by, if that's how you feel, then ending it. But it's tough to say the right way to go about it. But you know,
Just sit her down and tell her.
let her down easy.
Yeah.
Be honest, but not too honest.
Yeah. Yeah, be like judicious in what you're honest about.
Yeah.
Emma, what do you think?
I think you guys are nailing it.
Thank
Sweet,
you.
thank you.
All right.
Cool. Squashing some beef. Benjamin. Sup, my dudes? Ben and George here, and we just have a quick question about squashing some serious beef. The beef does not belong to us, but a friend of ours. We used to go to her place a lot last year and for pre-games and such, but this year she has been Arby's beefing with her new roommates. The one time we were at her place this year, we happened to have donuts on us and offered them to her roommates, but they rejected our token of goodwill. Our question is, should we help try to squash this? None of them seem inclined to squashing it anytime soon, and we don't like seeing our friend uncomfortable in her own living space. Thank you for the wisdom in advance. You got to stay out of it, dog.
Yeah.
That's a hornet's nest that you don't want to get involved in. Give her a good place to go when she comes to your place and hear her out when she complains. But I wouldn't mess with someone on their home turf, you know?
They want to squash the beef for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? It's like the
Yeah, like what are the options?
yeah.
Can we problem solve our way to a solution?
Can I read it again?
Maybe having a great rager at your place where you invite all of them and then they have such a good time that they have no choice but to kind of want to kick it with you guys. I mean, I just feel like this is energy that would be better served going towards things that are more for you and easier to accomplish.
Yeah. It's like, who are you, Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino? You haven't seen that movie.
No, but I think I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
He's got to beat up a gang.
Yeah. It's like, we're gonna go over there with scare the shit out of it.
Right.
Yeah, I just don't know what you can do. I like what you're saying. Give her sanctuary, and it's kind of on her. If she's beefing with her roommates, she's got to bounce.
Right. Move in together next year.
Yeah. And
It's nice that they care so much, though.
yeah,
But
maybe just keep bringing offering peace gifts. You know,
pastries.
Yeah, I mean, it's the holidays. Maybe be like the Three Kings and like bring some gold and some myrrh and whatever the other thing is.
Silk?
Yeah, bring some silk. Just sort of be festive. That's what I'm getting at.
Never bad advice.
Yeah.
Logan, hey dogs, long time listener here. So I don't go to many concerts, but the few I have been to, I felt super out of place. Like, obviously I like the artist. I'm trying to sing along and dance a little bit with the girlfriend, but for some reason I can't do it. Last concert I went to, the guy in front of me was going hard as fuck. Dude was singing and jumping and around and just overall killing it. How do I be that guy? How do I get myself to just let go and jam the way I want to? Thanks, boys. Fuck Puzio and stay stoked. Concerts are tough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't connect at concerts.
Dude, just start moving.
Yeah.
Momentum builds on momentum.
Yes.
So if you, the more you think about it, the less you're gonna do. Like, I remember at my brother's wedding, my dad, who like doesn't dance at all, he was grooving, you know, he looked like Herb Wesson out there just shaking it, and I'm like, what the fuck, Dad? And he's like, he gave me this like, he's like, you will get on this dance floor right now, and I was like, god damn. So I did, and I just had to move. So the more you move, the more you'll keep moving, the more fun you'll have. I'd say try not to think about it. Just keep moving. That's my advice.
I think Chad's absolutely right. How do you get to be that guy? One step at a time. One
Yeah.
dance move at a time.
Just build.
What's up, dogs? First off, I gotta say the pod is epic. Y'all are amazing bros, spreading nothing but sheer wisdom and love to bros worldwide. The world is... Thank you, dude. Anywho, I'm writing because I have a sticky situation that I think you guys could help with. I've been dating this woman for a couple months now, and everything is great. We both like the music scene, so we're always at shows and stuff, which leads to my problem. My all-time favorite brand, Bronco Worldwide, is playing a show on Valentine's Day. When I found out this news, I immediately sent it to my girlfriend thinking that her stoke would be just as full as mine. Sadly, as it was not. She doesn't want to go to the Bronco show, which surprised me considering that we were always going to concerts together and also that Bronco fucking slaps. Give them a listen if you have a chance. She says it's because she doesn't listen to him. So my question is this. How do I drag my girlfriend to Bronco, or is it simply not the move? Thank you, dogs, for the stoke elevation. Isaac.
Could you possibly go with a bunch of your dogs?
But not on Valentine's Day.
Oh, it's on Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
It's tough.
I mean, I think he's just got to go see him another time.
Yeah. He's got to compromise on that day.
I haven't been great at Valentine's Day in my history, but you still got to try. You got to go to something they like. I one time saw like a Sylvester Stallone movie. I think it was like Bullet in the Head on Valentine's Day, which is a couple of my boys. You know, we were all single. And then I saw a guy come in with his girlfriend, and I felt so bad for her. Dear Chad and JT, I wanted to get some advice on a situation in my life. You guys always give me confidence and positivity to keep me going and remain stoked through rough times. Recently, there has been a lot of negativity in my life. I'm 20 years old in community college in a small town, so good times and good people are hard to come by. I have my best friend who is super gnarly, and we are moving to Hawaii next year. One of the bros we grew up with has recently been reaching out to hang out with us lately. Every time we chill, I get super negative vibes, constantly judging and undermining every idea that comes out of my mouth. I continue to hang with him thinking it will be different, but every time I leave feeling like utter shit and my stoke tank is drained. The question is, do I completely cut off this person and go into straight grind mode the whole winter, or is there a way to stand up and hold my ground? Keep in mind he is a childhood friend. You guys are the best. Thank you. Also, could you leave my name anonymous? Thanks, bro gods. One of his friends just being a douche, and like anytime he says anything, he's like taking exception with it. I fucking hate when people are doing that. It's the worst. Because you could literally take exception with everything anyone's ever said. You know what I mean? Like if you had a beef with like MLK or Lincoln, you could take exception to something they said during one of their great speeches. You could be like, actually, the thing you said there is kind of not right, because if you really think about it, it's actually more like this. Yeah. And they'd be like, all right, well, I'm kind of killing it though. Yeah.
I mean, I get that he's a childhood friend, but if he makes you feel like shit, then what's the point?
I'm with you too, man. It sounds like this guy's just like miserable, and people like that don't mean to, but he's gonna make you miserable, and you sound like you got energy to feel good, so use that and put it in situations and environments where it's gonna blossom, not be beaten down. I would be on the hunt for a better class of person to kick it with. Sorry, buddy. Girl that dumped me listens to the podcast. Going for a romantic gesture here. Hey, Chad. Hey, JT. I'm in dire need of your help. My stokometer is at an all-time low. I've been seeing this absolute dime for the past couple months. Everything was going great. She's far and away the most amazing girl I've ever dated, and she's told me the same about myself. Recently, she told me she was feeling like we needed to have a talk. We've been pretty good about being honest and open with each other since day one, so this wasn't anything out of the blue. She voiced some concern she was having, and we talked it out, and it ended in us kissing and making out. Or making up, rather. Sorry. I'm horny. Stoked. Cut to a half hour later when she texts me telling me things are over between us. I was completely caught off guard. I've never been so crushed at a relationship ending. I know she still has these feelings for me, but she can sometimes overanalyze things and get too far into her head. I just need some help with my next move, so I'm coming to my faithful bros. Do I give her space until she's figured out her thoughts and feelings? Do I try and reach out and talk things out with her? Do I go the romantic route and lay it all on the line until I'm completely in love with her, knowing she listens to the podcast and hope she will hear this and I'll win her back? Any help is appreciated. So, they broke up, they made out and made up, and then when she left, she broke up with him again. And he's convinced that she still wants to be with him, but that she's just too mixed up to see that clearly.
I mean, I love the idea of like the huge romantic gesture, but I think you gotta give her space.
I love it
figure
too.
it out.
I love where his head's at. I love that he wrote in, hoping that she would hear this.
Yeah.
I love that he's taking big swings.
Yeah.
But I think you gotta
I think
find a new pitcher.
Yeah.
To take swings on.
Yeah, I think probably in her dome right now, she's all like trying to figure things out. So if you keep coming in, she isn't gonna have time to like figure out what she really wants.
Smart.
So I think the best option you have is to give her space, let her figure it out, maybe miss you a little bit, and then she'll be like, hey, maybe I did want to date whatever his name is.
And if he tries to be a guide for her through her own head, he's just going to get lost in there as well.
Yeah.
And lose sight of who he is.
Yeah.
So I think all this great instincts he has need to be put towards something that's going to reciprocate in a more healthy way.
But we got to acknowledge that this is like a
beast move.
Real living Jerry Maguire. Like, what up, dude?
I'm hoping it works.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. But yeah, dude, I think just give her some space, and then, because, I mean, you can't convince someone to feel a certain way. They got to make the decision on their own. So, but I would just watch some Tom Cruise movies, get your confidence back, do some crunches, and just be a beast.
Yeah, be a beast. I love it. All right, dudes. Thanks for writing in this week. That was some good stuff. Now let's get into our next phase. Chad, who is your babe of the week?
My babe of the week is the Flying Dutchman order at In-N-Out. Stokers, if you didn't gather from the last pod, the Flying Dutchman order is when you go to In-N-Out, you say, let me get a Flying Dutchman. I usually order like 3. Just saying. So it's 2 patties with cheese, 2 slices of cheese in between. It is so good. And that's all it is. So you eat like the 2 patties like a friggin' sandwich. So there's no bread, nothing, just meat and cheese. And my brother and I, we went to New Orleans, and we drove to New Orleans, 18-hour drive. No, we drove from New Orleans to Santa Fe, 18-hour drive. We got, I want to say like 20 Flying Dutchmen for the trip. That's all we needed. We just were, I opened the box, it looked like a box of donuts, except with meat. So it had that same aesthetic. So I'm like, wow, we're eating donuts right now, but it's protein. I'm getting jacked. It's cheese. I'm feeling good. Shout out to Sean Baker. What up? So yeah, and thank you In-N-Out for just providing such an amazing option. I mean, it's just incredible that you guys have that on the menu, and of course you guys kill it at the. I've heard from my brother that Whataburger has a good Flying Dutchman kind of thing. So I've never been to Whataburger, but I always hear about it. But the Flying Dutchman, I mean, you just look at the 2 patties together with cheese, and it just looks like a freaking babe. And I gotta give it the babe of the week status. So shout out. Who's your babe?
Stay jacked, dog. My babe of the week is Jalen Hurts, the backup quarterback at Alabama. Now, he was the starter for the first 2 years of his career, went to 1 or 2 national championship games, was the SEC Player of the Year, was a very distinguished quarterback. But then in the national championship last year against Georgia, he was benched at halftime because he wasn't playing great. Got replaced by Tua Tagovailoa. I'm so sorry. But who went on to win the game and took his job the next season. But Jalen did not transfer. He stayed at Alabama, and I was actually kind of upset about it because I wanted him to maximize his career and be able to play somewhere else and, be a starting quarterback like I think he's good enough to do. But he stuck it out at Alabama, and he never complained, and he was always pretty stoic and positive on the sidelines. And then this year in the SEC championship game, Alabama's playing Georgia. The starting quarterback, Tua, gets hurt. They're down by 13. He comes in. Incredible narrative symmetry. And I'm like, please, Jalen, win this game. And sure enough, this fucking dude leads them on a couple of touchdown drives, slings the ball better than I've seen him do it, which was always kind of his weakness, and leads them to victory. Jalen, you're a stud, dude. You're a babe. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. And you know what? Honestly, I hope you start in the Natty somehow. I don't want Tua to be hurt, but I just want you to be the starter. And you'll do the impossible. You'll make me root for Alabama. I'll root for the dark side. I'll be rooting for Vader. Because in this story, Vader got replaced by another Vader, and you had to see him sit there and pout while the new Vader was lightsabering people, and he was like, I wish I had my lightsaber. And then in the third act, he does get his lightsaber back. And then you're like, you know what, Vader? Kill the rebels.
I dig it.
Who is your Legend of the Week?
Dude, it's a funny thing you're talking about Darth Vader, because my Legend of the Week is Hayden Christensen's hair in Revenge of the Sith, the third Star Wars of the new one with George Lucas. Yeah, I guess, what would you call them? The middle?
Yeah, the
one where he turns into Darth Vader.
Yeah.
So Hayden Christensen...
I'd call them the episodes, I guess.
Yeah, Hayden Christensen, if you don't know, he plays Anakin Skywalker, who eventually turns into Darth Vader. And I just want to give a shout out to his flow in the third one, because it was just all time.
It was epic, dude.
It was epic. You know, you watch that, and like the lightsaber, the sound, everything about the movie was just the special effects was amazing. But the most amazing thing was that flow. You know, I was like, damn, he really grew into himself. He looks like a master Jedi now because he mastered his flow. You know, and I mean, he beats Ewan McGregor. Yoda, I don't even know what's going on his dome. It's green. Samuel L. Jackson, no hair. So I think it's safe to say that he had the best flow out of all the Jedis. It inspired me, inspired my hairstyle. You know, when I saw it as however old I was, you know, like 12 or something, when I saw that flow, I was like, that's what I'm going to look like in my 20s. That's what my flow will be like. And on top of that, I think his flow made his demise in the movie all the more tragic because it all burned off, you know? So I don't know what I was more upset about, the death of his wife or the death of his flow.
I appreciate your vulnerability picking the hair over the
wife.
Amidala. And they say a Sith only deals in absolutes, but I'm going to absolutely agree with you. His hair being dead was fucking hard on me.
When you watched it burn.
I don't think I could acknowledge it out loud because I was embarrassed, but you're right.
That's what caused Obi-Wan to like look away, because he's like watching him burn, and he just goes, oh, that's when the hair caught on fire.
My Legend of the Week is Ilya. Ilya is my landlord. Ilya is always at the building. I mean, he says he manages a bunch of buildings. I don't know how he does it because he's always at my building. And, you know, when I first met him, I was like, this guy's destined to be a beef of the week because he picks up the checks on the 1st of the month. And if you don't have it on the 1st, he makes you pay a late fee, even though it's like customary in America that you have till the 3rd. He doesn't play by those rules. He wants it on the 1st. And if it's not in there by noon, he's knocking on your door and he's like, JT, your roommate, Greg, where's his check? Every month, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to come here to ask for the check? Please, JT, please. And at first it annoyed me, but now I've spent so much time with the guy, I just fucking think he's awesome. Like, he's just always there, and he's always fixing stuff. And if I tell him there's a problem with the apartment, I'm like, Ilya, like my AC's busted. He's like, I'll come by in an hour, I fix it. And he does. And I swear he'd fix it even if I wasn't paying him. He does it for love of the game. The guy just likes to fix stuff. He's very boundaryless. He'll just walk into your apartment. Like one time he just walked in without me letting him in. And I said, Ilya, you can't walk in without me letting you in. I was like, go outside. He's like, really? And I was like, please. And he's like, okay. He played along. He let me do it to him. And people who are boundaryless but are at least aware enough about their boundarylessness to like accommodate other people when they get called out for it, they're cool. And so, Ilya, you're honest to God the best landlord I've had. And, you know, you're a quirky dude, but your quirks are what make you lovable. So you're my Legend of the Week.
I love it.
All right, dude. Who is your beef of the week?
My beef of the week is the death of Blockbuster. I love Blockbuster. I would go as a kid. I would always see Braveheart in the aisles. There's something about, you know, it is such a momentous moment of joyousness and all kinds of isnesses. Because it was just a place you could go where you could be like, all right, what's our entertainment going to be for the night? Movie. What are we going to watch? I don't know. Let's look at the selections. Now, you know, I want to hate on like the, you know, all the streaming services, but I'm going to hate on them a little bit, you know, because when you can just hold a DVD in your hands or a video game in your hands where you're like, I'm going to rent this and I'm going to watch this shit, there's just something so much more satisfying about it, as opposed to when you just click on a movie and you're like, all right, Now we're gonna watch Braveheart. But when you go to a Blockbuster and you pick out Braveheart and then you watch Braveheart and then you return it, that's like I destroyed that movie in the best way possible. Blockbuster, I just want to say I miss you, dudes. Shout out to Randy, the manager of the Blockbuster I would go to. He's a beast, kind of. He would hit on my mom a little bit, so that was kind of weird. But other than that, dude, like, you had great movie taste. You know, you always pointed out the new Tom Cruise movie and whatever was good. And I just miss the aisles. So
I do too.
Yeah.
Quick Blockbuster anecdote. I went there one time with Strider when we were in high school to rent a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to rent the movie. I think it was Grosse Pointe Blank. And they were like, you need ID. And I was like, I don't have ID. And then Strider went, hold on. And out of his wallet, pulled out my freshman year high school ID and handed it to the guy. He found it at my place, stuck it in his wallet, held on to it for a couple years, and then busted it out at that moment.
Beautiful.
My beef of the week is with the triple-double. The basketball stat when you hit 10 rebounds, 10 assists, and 10 points, or you can do it in funkier ways with steals or blocks, and even some people do goofy versions with turnovers. But I'm talking about just a conventional triple-double. Now, it is a great indicator of versatility and skill, but it's diminished if you're chasing it. If you're stat chasing to get that triple-double, I'm sorry. It just doesn't have the same meaning. And yes, I'm talking about Russell Westbrook. He's breaking the triple-doubles record, and I think he's a tremendous talent, but his obsession with the triple-double has made me not like it as much. When I see Steven Adams blitzing away from an offensive rebound so Russ can grab it, I'm like, am I watching genuine basketball, or am I watching the exaltation of one guy above his teammates? All right, dude, time for our quotes of the week. Do you have a quote?
Not yet.
All right, I have a rather long one. I'm sorry. I had to go long on this one.
It's all good.
My quote of the week is from the American songwriter and singer Kid Rock. He's got a lot of great songs, but this song right here, and all credit to the Roby brothers for showing it to me and telling me this, is the greatest pregame song ever.
What's it called?
Cocky by Kid Rock. Oh. I'll read you the entire first verse and the chorus. Guess who's back? I used to be broke, confused, no joke. Got used, smoked dope, paid dues, refused to give up quick. Now there's 10 million motherfuckers on my dick. Sold what? Say how? Say who? Fuck what? Fuck me? Fuck you. Come clean, you know I will. Drink a fifth of Jim Beam and still stand still. I'm the illest fool, cooler than the water in a swimming pool. Fly like a seagull, kicking like a mule, more jams than a beetle from Liverpool. I deliver, fool. Now who the fuck are you? I'm Kid Motherfucking Rock from the old school. Got more money than Matchbox 20, get more ass than Mark McGrath. And then the chorus. They say I'm cocky, and I say what? It isn't bragging, motherfucker, if you back it up. They say I'm cocky, and I say what? It isn't bragging, motherfucker, if you back it up.
My quote is from Me, Myself, and Irene, Jim Carrey. There's so many good quotes in there. I'm having trouble picking the best one. I'm going to go with this one because he's being an environmentalist. He sees like a baseball player flick a cigarette. He's like, hey, ringworm. The guy looks around. Yeah, I'm talking to you, you toxic waste of life. You gonna pick up that butt? Or do I have to glue it to the end of my shoe and stick it in your big fat pimply a-hole? He's like, hey man, take it easy. It's just a cigarette. Oh yeah? Well, this is just a fist. When I